morning to you all. Yes, it's Monday morning in Australia, in Melbourne. We've got overcast weather. We've had some rain. It's a little bit cold, hence the long sleeves. I trust you're all well. I've got some updates for you today. So the first update I have for you is the case of Melissa Caddick and ASIC. Now, as you know, if you've been following, Melissa Caddick has disappeared without a trace. There are lots of speculations and things going on about what's happened to her. However, she seemed to have taken money from investors and used it to fund a lavish lifestyle. So at the moment, the Australian Securities Investment Commission have taken her to court to try and recoup some of this money. So we've been reading all the court documents and everything related to that. So there was a hearing on the 1st of April, and the court hearing is adjourned, and there's been some orders made. So I want to go through the orders. So it's an order made by Justice Markovic. And so let's just see what he said on this day. So this is a really long, drawn-out case at the moment, unfortunately. So it's just taking its sweet old time. But this is what he said. Okay, so this is the document. The Federal Court of Australia, so this is from New South Wales. So every state in Australia has a district court, a federal court. So this is in the Registry of New South Wales. Okay, so the Australian Securities and Investments Commission and Melissa Caddick consent orders. This was an order made on the 1st of April 2020 in Sydney. So because it is public information, it does take a while for it to get uploaded onto the site, which is for free because it's a public interest case. They go through and they make sure that there is no information here that needs to be privated, and they will often redact the information that needs to be redacted, which is a really good thing. So here we go. This is what the judge consented, because it looks like there's just lots of stuff going on, and like there's been lots and lots of court appearances, lots of documents filed, lots of affidavits filed, lots of declarations filed, lots of going back and forth. So if you remember rightly, ASIC's trying to create the money. They've reported receivers and liquidators to do an audit of the accounts to find out who needs to be paid and what needs to be paid. We've got the family, the representative of Melissa Caddick, her brother, who's her guardian, has a guardianship. He's filed to say that that the husband and the child needs a certain amount of money every month to live, but the receivers have given a certain amount of money and they're asking for more money. This hearing was adjourned, and we're going to see what happens between now and then. So the interested party in this is the liquidators and receivers. So it says the court orders by consent that the hearing of the interlocutory application filed by the receivers of the first defendant on 2nd of March 2021 and the interlocutory application filed by the plaintiff on the 29th of March 2021 be adjourned to the 29th of June 2021 at 10:15 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we're now adjourned until June. So there's some dates here. By the 9th of April 2021, the first defendant is to advise the plaintiff whether the first defendant consents to order one of the plaintiff's interlocutory application. So we'll have to go back and have a look at that. There have been no updates, so it does take a few days for it to happen. I haven't seen anything to see whether there's been anything by way of approval or anything. So we need to find out whether the first defendant consents to order one. By the 16th of April 2021, the first defendant consents to order one of the plaintiff's interlocutory application. The plaintiff is to file consent orders and further amend originating process in the form of annexed to the plaintiff's interlocutory application. The time for the plaintiff to file and serve any evidence on which it intends to rely on the proceedings is extended until the 14th of May. The file for the defendants to file and serve any evidence on which they intend to rely in the proceedings is extended to the 28th of May 2021. The time for the plaintiff to file and serve electronic copy of the court book containing material filed for the purposes of the hearing and on which parties intend to rely, and provide to the Associate of Markovich J. an unredacted electronic copy of the court book is extended until the 11th of June. The time for the parties to file and serve their opening submissions in each case limited to 15 pages in length is extended until midday the 18th of June 2021. The hearing listed to commence on 7th of April 2021 to be vacated. The hearing to be listed for a 2-day hearing to commence on the 29th of June 2021 at 10:15 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Liberty to apply 48 hours notice. So what they've essentially done is they've just laid out an order in which everything has to be done. So we know that there's going to be a 2-day hearing on the 29th of June. They've vacated the date of the original date and they've all got hearing. And notice that they've said that they've got 15 pages for their opening submissions. So let's have a look. So that was the order. See, these are all the documents here. There's a lot of documentation here. So it says it was updated on the 18th. So I went to here. So this was what we just had here. And that was the orders. So 29th of June, hearing 30th of June. So that's all been set out. Here are all the documents filed. I mean, you think that there was a lot of all those documents. So again, all of these documents have not been made available yet. We're not able to get those yet as soon as they do. But look at all the documents that have been filed. There is a huge amount here. Huge amount. So we looked at all of this stuff about the liquidators. So we've got lots of stuff from the Australian Investment Securities Commission here. And then we've got the list of orders. So this is what the Commonwealth, the Federal Law Court site looks like. So if you remember, we get the free. We get it free because it's listed as a public interest case. And so everything is here. So we don't have anything, any orders or affidavits here from the 22nd of February. Because they go through and they redact everything. So how do you reckon this case is going? Do you think the people are going to get their money back? Is this something that you continually want to keep following and watching? Because I'd like to see some of these affidavits, but we can't get them yet. There's still been no update as to what's happened to her, what she's doing. I'm just going to have a quick, I'm going to do a quick little googly search. See if there is anything else to update. Anything. So there's been nothing since the 30th of March that I can see here. So as far as the reporting of what's happened with her, oh wait, on Channel 9 actually reported, the 6th of April. That's interesting. So I'm just going to show you this. All right. So on the 6th of April, so this is Channel 9. So this is an Australian television network. Oh, there's the fairy floss. Woohoo! It's really good fairy floss, by the way. So there's accused fraudster Melissa Caddick farewelled at a private service. So only a handful of mourners, including her husband, attended the funeral. So I guess now that she's been presumed dead, she disappeared on November 12th. So following presumed death, the corporate regulator dropped 38 criminal charges against her, including falsely claiming she had a financial service license and fraud-related charges. So the civil case at the moment and her company is still happening. It's expected the judge will be asked to formally approve the appointment of liquidators. This would allow the liquidators to sell any of Miss Caddick's assets believed to be purchased with misappropriated funds to recoup of what's believed to be $23 million owed to her clients. So that's interesting. So it would seem that they've presumed her dead and they've had a private funeral service for her. So the question is, do you think, is the case closed? Do we think that she could be somewhere? She's still alive? I guess that they're assuming that she's died somewhere in the ocean. I really don't know. But that just happened on the 6th of April, that funeral service. The private funeral. So that was 9 News. Just seeing what else we've got here. It looks like she's been presumed dead, and so they're still going on civil charges because the company's still involved and they've got to recoup some of the money that has been lost. So very interesting. So now we have to wait till June for the court case. The company does not have any representation, I believe, at this stage. I can't find anything. Melissa Caddick, her brother, is her representative through lawyer. He has a law firm to represent her, and it's going to be very, very interesting. So what they want to do, they want to appoint receivers and liquidators to try and recoup all the money. That's what they've been arguing over. That's what all the documents to and fro have been about. Why you've got her side saying, no, we don't want receivers and liquidators because we don't really know no one knows what the money is. And you've got the government saying, well, yes, we need to have receivers and liquidators because we need to sort this mess out. What do I think is going to happen? I think, seriously, they need to get receivers and liquidators in. This is just my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. Please do not take this as fact. I'm just trying to make sense of a messy situation. And, well, they have to for all the victims. And if you remember rightly, the house that her parents live in was bought with misappropriated money. However, they sold their home and used the sale of their home as a deposit on the house, and she topped up the rest. So, do they deserve to lose their home? Does the husband and son deserve to lose their home? This is what has to be all sorted out in court. It's sad that if she did disappear deliberately, she has left a huge mess for her family to sort out. You know, and it's really quite sad because her family members are just as much victims as what the victims are. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And maybe you'd like to join the choir and become a member. You can find all of those links below. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. And thank you for spending this time with me.